Greetings, YouTube! The Doctor is in. Dr. Urios Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And today we are going to be talking about the spell Laerel's Silver Lance. I think it is Laerel. This is a new spell from Forgotten Realms, Heroes of Faerun. You can see there it is on page 145. So we're going to be talking about this spell. We're going to be talking about other equivalent third level spells to it, why this one might be better or worse than the other ones. We are going to give it a grade. And, we're going to go over all that and more. So stay tuned and don't go away. All right, before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, and don't forget to share this video. All right, Laerel's Silver Lance. Here we are. It is a third level spell, takes one action to cast, has a range of self 120 feet, so it does originate from you in a line. It has a verbal, somatic, and material component, and in line with all of the Forgotten Realms Heroes of Faerun spells, that material component costs some cash. So it is a silver pin worth 250 gold pieces or more. It does not go away when the spell gets cast. So you're going to have an item that you're going to carry around that is going to be used for this spell. Its duration is instantaneous, so it just happens. It is evocation. It has a wonderful, wonderful strength saving throw, which we love. Very sarcastically, we don't love strength saving throws. So, silver energy bursts out from you in a 120-foot long, 5-foot wide line. Keep in mind that when you use a spell that originates from you that goes in a line, that you definitely could hit some friendlies. Each creature of your choice in the line makes a strength saving throw. Ugh. Ugh. Let me say that again. Ugh. We do not like strength saving throws. On a failed save, very unlikely that something is going to fail a strength saving throw because most things have a really good strength. So on a failed save, a creature takes 3d10 force damage. How much is that on average? On average, that is 16.5 points of damage. However, they have the prone condition, meaning their movement is restricted and attacks affected. So they have advantage on attack rolls, or they have disadvantage on attack rolls, and attack rolls made against them have advantage if you are within 5 feet. Your movement options are to crawl or spend an amount of movement equal to half your speed to right yourself. And your speed is 0. If your speed is 0, you cannot right yourself. So they get hit, they make a save. If they fail it, they take, on average, 16.5 points of damage, and they are knocked prone. On a successful save, they take half as much damage, and they are not knocked prone. And then you can upgrade this spell by casting it with a higher spell level, and it adds a d10 or 5.5 points on average for every level that you upcast this. So that's 2 more points per level than a fireball, but it doesn't start at the same place that a fireball does, and that is my contention. So let's talk about the grade for this spell. All right, so we're going to give this spell a C. Not one of my favorite spells. It originates from you. That's not great. It is a very long line, but there's a very high chance you're going to hit friendlies. The saving throw is just terrible. That's a big factor in my math in grading this. The 16.5 points turns into 8 points if they make their save, which is likely they're going to make their save. The prone condition in 5th edition 2024 Dungeons & Dragons is not as bad as it is in other games, like a Pathfinder game or 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons. It's still not great. So there is that. You do get to knock them prone, but it's not awesome. The fact that it has a silver pin worth 250 gold that's required to cast it also brings that grade way down. Mainly it's the strength saving throw and the pin. The fact that they add the prone condition in and make it think that it's a 3rd level spell is not fantastic. So let's talk about some other spells that are comparable with this, because there are some spells that are 3rd level spells that are comparable with this. Lightning Bolt is one. It is also usable by sorcerers and wizards. And by the way, Laerel's Silver Lance is usable by clerics, sorcerers, and wizards. So we've got Lightning Bolt. 2 out of the 3 classes can use this. And Lightning Bolt does 8d6 damage. So that translates into 3.5 times 8, which is 28 average points of damage. And so it does 12 more points of damage. It is a dex saving throw, half as much damage. And then you can, on a failed save, it's a dex save, which is much better. No material cost. And you can upcast it for a d6, 3.5 average points per level above 4. And this one, again, this one's a self, 100 foot. So, you could have that problem with friendlies. We've got Fireball, a mainstay with all wizards and sorcerers. And it doesn't start itself. Its material component doesn't cost anything. It's a dex saving throw. It does the same damage, which is 8d6 or 28. So it does 12 more points of damage. Doesn't knock prone, and you can upcast it for a d6. And you can start things burning if they are not worn or carried, because we all know that worn or carried items are immune to fire or whatever. So, there is that. Now, my contention with this here is that there are better spells at 3rd level to cast for clerics, sorcerers, and wizards than this spell itself. So we have things like Aura, Vitality, Beacon of Hope. Those are all mainstay cleric spells. We've got other things like Conjure Constructs, which is a newer one. That's okay. Counterspell, that's a mainstay. Even though they nerfed Counterspell, that's a mainstay one. Dispel Magic is a great one. Erupting Earth is pretty good. Fear is pretty good. Then we got Fireball, of course. Fly. Haste. Those are all great spells that are much better than Silver Lance. Lightning Bolt, again, great spell. And also, we've got other spells like Revivify. So why would, you almost have to have this one. Sleet Storm is a pretty good spell. Slow is an awesome spell. Of course, there's Spirit Guardians. Why would you choose Silver Lance over Spirit Guardians? I don't know. Stinking Cloud is another great one. Summon Fae. I mean, there are so many good ones. Thunderstep that I would rather take than this one right here. So, not a great spell, not as good as some of the other ones, goes along with this theme of charging us for use of a really kind of mediocre spell, and that's it. All right, that is what I have for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.